What's up, guys? It is Chris back with another watch video, and today we're talking about a brand that I actually represent here in the United States. So I am the brand representative for Mauron Musy. They make some incredible watches, and I wanted to share this watch, a watch that I actually don't own. It's a sort of a press sample watch that I use for sales purposes. However, I wanted to do an unboxing and go through just some of the very high level details of this watch, because there are a ton of details on this watch, and just give you a sort of a preview of it, and then eventually I'll do some other videos on it. However, here it is. It comes in an outer boxed cardboard box. Inside you get this, a beautiful watch roll, and also a passport. That passport is sort of very nicely made, obviously, beautifully made. And it's the certificate of authenticity. It gives you warranty information and all that. And then it has a little area where you can put where the services took place, when they took place, things like that. Just a really nice idea, actually. I think a lot more manufacturers should do that. Something that actually Vacheron do, which they give you a little passport. It's very nice. So here it is. Like I mentioned, this is a watch roll, very nicely made. As you can see, it's snapping closure. It's signed Mauron Musy. Just beautifully made. And then, of course, inside you have a watch. You get an extra strap. This is a blue strap. Very easy to change the straps, and actually a very nice system that they have, and I'll show you that in a second. But this is all snapped together, so this snaps closed and then it snaps apart. So it's very secure, keeps your watches very nicely safe. Sort of like a micro suede on the inside. Just a beautiful black color, just a really nice overall packaging. So here is the watch. So as I mentioned, this is a very special watch. I am very excited to even have it on my channel, let alone that I am the actual US representative. So if you are interested in this watch, do not hesitate. Please reach out to me. You could reach out to me on our website, on the Mauron Musy website, or you could reach out directly on YouTube, Instagram, however you want to reach out to me, go ahead. And I will definitely answer any questions that you have about the brand, about this watch, any watch that they make. I am very happy to. So this is a grade 5 titanium watch. It is 44 millimeters. You have a 52 millimeter lug width, 15 millimeters thickness. I'm going to go through two special details on this watch, and then I'll just wrap up the video because I don't want to make this too long. This watch has 300 meters water resistance, so that's one of the special details, and we'll get into why in a second. And then this is also not Swiss made. This is called Swiss crafted. Again, we'll get back to why that is special, because this is not a Swiss made watch. They've come up with a different name for it, but Mauron Musy have actually come up with that name, and they call it Swiss crafted, and I'll get back to that in a moment. So first, 300 meters water resistance. So why is that special? You could buy a watch for $230 that has 300 meters water resistance. Well, the 300 meters water resistance that this has is achieved with absolutely no gaskets. So there are no O-rings in this watch. There are no plastic or rubber gaskets holding below that crown or under the case back. This is a 36-part case. It all fits together perfectly to the point where it does not need any plastic or rubber to create that 300 meters water resistance. In fact, you don't even get a screwed-in crown. This is a push-pull crown. It doesn't feel like your average push-pull crown, obviously, because it feels like a tank. It feels like something that you're in a fine luxury car, like a Ferrari, where you're shifting. It feels like very like a bolt action when you're doing it. It feels really nice, and it sounds and feels really good. So essentially what they do is their tolerances of machining are so high and so precise and so perfect that the metal parts, those grade 5 titanium parts, fit together so perfectly they achieve 300 meters water resistance without any plastic. So how do they do that? I'll put an animation up, and I'll go into a lot more detail later in the future in a different video. So essentially they've patented a no O-ring technology, and all that is that this doesn't have O-rings, so you don't need to actually replace O-rings. And when your water resistance fails, you really actually never know that. So if you are like me and you never get your watches serviced unless they stop working, if the gasket fails, you know, and your watch is still working and you go swimming, that's a period of time where water egress can happen. So water can get into the case. That will never ever happen because of the way that this case is designed, how it's finished. that won't happen. Now, the finishing on the case itself is immaculate. It's one of the nicest cases I have ever had on the channel, and I own Vacherons. And it's not because I am the representative for this brand. You have to take a look at this. I'll do close-ups of the watch itself. The transitions are crisp, clean. There's bead blasting, brushing, polishing, everything on this case. It fits together perfectly and it looks absolutely gorgeous. And of course you have a beautiful movement to match that is engraved. It's absolutely just a gorgeous movement. And I'll do close-ups of this movement, but I don't think it could do it justice. You have to see a movement like this in person. The color of the movement is actually matched to the case itself. And it's in-house. It's actually made by Le Jeu Perret, who are a manufacturer in Switzerland. And that brings me to the second point that I wanted to make in this video. This is a Swiss crafted watch. So what does that mean? It's not Swiss made, because the Swiss made moniker they felt did not finish or fit this watch entirely, because every single part of this watch is made in Switzerland. Not only is it made in Switzerland, it's made within 60 miles of the Mauron Musy factory. So yes, this is 100% made in Switzerland. There are watches out there like that. They are very expensive watches. Watches like Vacheron and Patek Philippe, Rolex. There are watches out there that do that. And a lot of that is in-house, and a lot of this is in-house as well. Most of the case manufacturing is in-house. Anything that is sourced, it is sourced directly in a 60-mile radius of the actual factory, and it is made in Switzerland. So they actually go through their manufacturers and make sure that those items are actually made in Switzerland. This is a pretty incredible watch when you think about those features. And obviously, it is not a cheap watch. This is, I believe, around $11,000. But that being said, it's a lot of watch for the money. And I'm not even getting into the details on the dial. The dial has a ton of details, a ton of levels, applied indices. Those indices are on sort of a bowed out portion of the dial. Then there's a center portion of the dial. Again, Mauron Musy and the Swiss crafted logos there are engraved in steel, not just stamped. Those are engraved, laser engraved into the steel plates that are actually applied as well. The hands are diamond polished. And then a really quick detail that I think is just amazing about this watch. At the 9 o'clock indice, you can see there is a small second. That small second actually passes, that second hand passes under the 9 o'clock indice. Why? Because why not? They go the extra mile to make it look better. The symmetry, you don't cut off that little indice just because that second hand's there. You find a solution, and they found a solution. Just like we don't want to put a plastic O-ring in here. What do? We find a solution. We machine tolerant, make our machine tolerances so high that we don't need that. Just a really great idea. Big date, that big date right there, it's huge compared to your normal date wheel on a normal watch. Is it a grand date? No, there's only one actual wheel that is actually part of that date function right there. However, what they've done is they put a 33 millimeter movement in here, and they took advantage of that and put a large date. I like that. I have not really seen that before. I think that's a very good idea, very interesting idea. And then on top of all of that, we have the strap system here. And I'm just going to take off the strap just so you guys can see. It's your normal quick release strap on here. Not that big of a deal, right? But when you look at the actual inside of the case, you can see that it is actually notched out for not only the bracelet, as you can see there, but it is also notched out for that little part of the release mechanism. So when you put this back on, and it's very easy, you just put it right back on. Once it fits in, it won't scratch the side of your watch. It won't bother your wrist because it goes and it hides. And that's it, it's gone. Very, very easy. I'm not going to put it on the other side because then I have to switch out the buckle. So very quickly, I'm going to throw this watch on my wrist so you guys can see. This is the blue leather strap that it comes on. And I know I'm going to have it on two different straps, but I just want to quickly show you guys how it looks on my 7.5-inch wrist. But before I do, let me show you the watch I have on, and in contrast to this watch, this incredibly modern watch, what I've put on today is a very classic dive watch. This is a Waltham Blancpain 50 Fathoms Bothascoff. This was a private label for Waltham that was actually produced and made by Blancpain. Just has the Waltham name on it. A very traditional dive watch made with gaskets. However, that's I think you could see the future in the past right there. I think it's really cool and a really good idea that I want to put that on there. But here you go. You can see this. I have two different straps on here, and it looks kind of crazy, but just a really cool watch. And it's 44 millimeters. It does not wear very large. 52 millimeters lug to lug. Fits very nicely. 15 millimeters thick. All that. 300 meters water resistance. No gaskets. Swiss made. Swiss crafted, I should say. Just very cool. Let me throw on the other side of the strap, and then I can't do the buckle just now because it'll take a little bit more time on screen, but I just want you guys to see what it looks like on that blue strap entirely, and then I'll wrap up the video. So it's very easy to change the straps, as you can see, and there it is on the blue completely with that blue dial. Just really pops. Beautiful titanium case. Tell me what you guys think of this watch in the comments below. I am very proud to be the US representative for this brand. Definitely, if you are interested, hit me up. I really want to hear from you guys. If you are interested in this, hit me up in the comments below. Send me an email. Do whatever you need to do. Get in touch with me, and I'll definitely answer any of the questions that you have. Anyway. Thanks for logging on, and I appreciate you guys taking a look at this watch with me today. I'll definitely make some more more videos about this watch in the near future. Anyway, thank you for logging on. I'll catch you guys in the next video.